Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the Vault. Trust Christian own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the Vault, episode 688. Really thankful and proud to have gotten to this point, years in, and we're just still doing episodes. So we always appreciate all of our listeners that, you listen for a long time now, listeners that are fairly new. Appreciate all the listeners. Definitely hit the like and the subscribe if you're new. And if you're an old time listener, hit the like just to keep the channel boosted up in the algorithm. Always appreciate that. Definitely make it a point to like. And we're going to move forward with this particular topic today, episode 688, How Private Banking Trusts Make Money. And this is not legal advice or financial advice, so we have to preface that in the episode, even in the disclaimer, just because people sometimes make these careless mistakes out here and they don't really understand how to operate, whether you call it privately or independently, honestly, and not being a part of a system that is not under your control as a trustee. So, here we go. Private banking trusts make money. And so, this is the episode where a lot of trustees they get into trust and some trust we'll go talk to the real estate trustees very early. So you get a lot of trustees that are in real estate, and that's literally a land bank, but do they know how to make money off of it as a private trustee? Most of them don't. And this is where you get into, well, you have to start practicing private family banking with the insurance. And this is where a lot of families, that's the next step and they might not make it. Just straight up. Why? Because you gotta establish the bank. Oh man, how long does that take, Trust Christian Vault? Exactly. Then you got so many trustees or people that come into the vault that are untrained, but they have, oh, I got some insurance stuff. I got some insurance like that. I think I got some insurance like that. I remember I had some insurance like that. No, you don't. Have you had an insurance policy from your family in your family for 300 years? No, that's what we're talking about, not what you're talking about. And so you get this discrepancy sometimes in, oh, private family banking. Okay, so how does the bank make money? First of all, let's establish how the bank makes money. The bank makes money how? Off of loaning money and collecting interest. It's usury. That's what it's called. So now that we've established that a bank, makes money off the interest, it's the same thing for the insurance policy. How many people are paying their insurance policy to a degree overfunding the policy and paying it back with interest? Oh, Trust Christian in the vault. You don't know, man. I don't know about that. We know most people don't know. They're not paying back the bank, their family bank, with interest. That's how the family bank makes money. That's how the private bank and trust make money. They make money off the interest. Oh, is that making money, Trust Christian? If I just pay back the loan and don't pay back the interest or pay the family estate the premium with interest because it loaned me something or it loaned the family estate something or it loaned someone in the family something. So how did it make money? Positive cash flow is technical and in the realm of interest, positive cash flow. And so we get this thought process that some people say, oh man, Trust Christian in the vault. You know, I'm trying to get in trust. I'm in trust. I'm trying to practice the being a trustee. How you practicing being a trustee? You're not practicing private banking in trust. But you're a trustee. I'm a trustee. I got a bank account open. I got a bank account open, Trust Christian in the vault. I'm trying to get a bank account open, Trust Christian Vault. It's so hard to get the bank account open, Trust Christian Vault. You just don't know. I went into the bank. I was wearing fatigue pants, and they didn't think I was a trustee. I went in there with a T-shirt. And they didn't think I was a trustee. They didn't take me seriously. I had to go to 3 banks, Trust Christian in the vault. Exactly. You didn't call before you went. That's what we instruct our trustees to do. You're actually supposed to call. But Trust Christian, I wanted the shortcut, the shortcut. Oh, really? I wanted the shortcut, the shortcut. In life, I didn't follow business etiquette. I did my family etiquette. And we see how far that's gotten our family so far. Looking to get into private banking and trust. So we did. We got into private family banking and trust. We got the bank account open. Okay, now we're the private family trustee. Right. How you practicing private family banking and you not practicing private family banking with the insurance and paying back the family with interest? Do you have loans out against your name since people want to brag about it? Oh, I got a loan out in my name, Trust Christian Nouveau. Okay, so is the family estate paying the loan now? Is the family estate paying the loan now? Are you paying the family estate with interest so they can pay the loan? So they can make a profit as a family estate for loaning money out to you that they may never get back? Because it paid for your debts and your indiscrepancies in your personal name? Oh, Trust Christian Revolt, I didn't think about it that way, I just got into it. So how do I practice private family banking? How do I practice private family banking? I opened a bank account. That means I'm private, right? That means the business is private, right? Okay. Private, you practicing private banking in trust, right? So are you lined up? Do you have a system, a policy, a procedure in place that says that? It says this is how our family's going to practice private banking as opposed to public banking. Oh no, we didn't put a procedure in place for that yet. Trust Christian in the vault. We didn't put a procedure in place. Right. We got to put a procedure in place. We got to put a procedure in place. We got to make sure that we understand, okay, as a private family bank, guess what? The next step is to pay our family estate back with interest at all times. How can we overpay something we supposed to get help with? This is the thought process. How are we going to overpay, Trust Christian? You're pushing us to the limits here now. I got to pay back the family estate with interest? How much is interest? 4% on the money? 5% on the money? 7% on the money? Oh no, Trust Christian Univault. Don't tell me, Trust Christian Univault. You told me one of the trustees, they actually were loaning people out of the family estate at 10%. So you're saying I should pay our family estate back at 10%? These are the thought processes that people sometimes won't be able to grasp, and there are many that will. That's why we're speaking it the way that we're speaking it. It's because he who has ears will hear. They'll understand the basics of, okay, we have to do this. We do it immediately. We put a plan in place. And we make it a point to pay back the family estate with interest. Are you paying back the family estate with interest? What is you could calculate LIBOR. It's called LIBOR. It's LIBOR. And once again, you can see that, what the base rate across the world for the most part are English speaking countries. You can see private family banking trust, the way they make money, if we're being direct. People say, "Oh man, I want to make the loans. I want to practice private family banking." But think about it. You got your business in private family banking, and you're supposed to create what's called a hedge. A lot of y'all out here are losing money in investments. They don't want to say it. Oh no, Trust Christian Revolt. You can't tell me, because guess what? Most people don't know the difference between an active investment and a passive investment. But the world is construed. Oh, Trust Christian, I have an Airbnb. It's a passive investment. No, it's not. We'll share with you what we see in one real estate sector where we talked to we called a facility and we said we're looking to speak to the owner. And he said, "Well, yeah, he doesn't show up too often." We said, "Well, how often does he show up?" He says quarterly. You hear the difference? Passive is 4 times a year. If it's truly quarterly, it's 4 times a year. If it's truly quarterly, 3 months, it's 4 times a year. So how do we get to this? Oh well, active investments. It's passive. No, it's not. You're active. You're actively managing a business. Do you hear the difference? Yeah. And passive investment is truly that. You don't work it as a business. You collect dividends. Oh no, Trust Christian, you don't understand. That's what they called it over the internet. Okay. So some people, in our sector, a lot of people want to make the transition. It's like, okay, you're making a transition, but the thing about it is when you're making a transition, you let people say, oh man, I'm going to hedge, I'm a hedge, I'm a hedge. So you're going to hedge, right? We had someone come to us the other day. Think about it. We'll give you a scenario, ladies and gentlemen. Just an easy real life scenario. We had someone come to us recently and say, I have $5,000. What should I do with it? We've been thinking about doing an episode about it, but just haven't gotten to it. And I said, $5,000. I said, okay. So wouldn't it be better for the company to be holding a gold position or holding a silver position or holding a position in a precious metal as opposed to putting capital at major risk? It's so interesting because we see people say, oh yeah, gold's going to never go to zero. Silver's never going to go to zero. So why wouldn't it be the most stable asset in the marketplace today? And the interesting part about it is, guess what? Banks do hold gold and they do hold silver and they do issue deposit receipts and they do collateralize them for loans. Yes, they do. So where is the mentality? Oh, I want some financial literacy, Trust Christian to vote. We got to give financial literacy because they didn't give it to us in public school, but we going to send our kids to public school so they can not get the same education that we getting as adults because it's alternative education. Because in public school, they train you to be an employee, but in the real world, in capitalism has no book other than, think about it, in capitalism they give you a tax credit. How do they tax you and then give you a credit? Because the system requires people to read new updated information. So how do private bank and trust make money? Through interest. Are you paying back your insurance policy with interest? Oh yeah, I got one of them insurance policies, Trust Christian in the vault. And guess what? They don't use it. They don't use it as a private family bank. They don't overfund the policy because they don't know how to. We got trustees right now concerned about hitting it, and we right now in July because they've overfunded the policy. They understand that they had to get with the right people. Once again, that was the vault and our team. And they found out, and we provide multiple styles. But we remember sitting in a room with actually one of the people that we recommend for private family banking. And he said it's less than 1,600 people in the country that know how to do what they do. But you think you're doing something special. And then you come to meet these people that can structure these policies and help you establish your private family bank. It's less than 1,600 so-called private family banking structurers out there, quality, top flight, and people don't know how to use them. They don't know where to find them. Clearly, they're private. But they're sharing with you how to make money off of interest. Think about it. People are getting the interest taxed on them, but they don't pay the interest back to themselves. first, as they try to say in the good book. Oh, you supposed to pay yourself first. You supposed to pay your 10% first. Right? Did you pay the 10% on top of the actual principal? But what they wanted in the public was, what do they get? A tax write off for writing off the interest as if it's not a business expense. It is. It's an excess business expense. That's why it's actually a write off in the public, because it's an excess business expense. If it's no money in the system, people will come to us and say, "Oh, Trust Christian Vault, there is no money. There is no money." You think we don't hear this argument? There is no money, Trust Christian Vault. You don't understand. You think you're the smartest guy in the room. You don't know. There's no such thing as money. It's just paper. It's not backed by anything. It's just a paper. It's a piece of paper. Okay. It's still used. Correct? Do you use it? Right. So they have a system where they ask for things that might be slightly unreasonable. Oh man, we need you to pay back the loan and pay it back with interest. Right. But we gonna let you write off the interest. So how do you break off into private family banking? You break off by paying your family back interest first. Oh, I'm in private trust transgression involved. I got the insurance policy, but I ain't did that yet. I don't know when I'm gonna get around to it. Here we go. I don't get around to it. But they paying back loans to the house. They paying back loans to the car. They paying back credit cards. They paying back credit cards. But they not paying back the family estate with interest. Then you be motivating me, Trust Christian. I gotta do it. I don't know when I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go to the cookout. It's getting the end of summer. It's gonna be August. It gets hot outside. It's hot outside. Here we go. So, private family banking. We have trustees that sit in meetings and learn things new all the time about private family banking. And that's what it has to be. It has to be an incestuous appetite to actually be of that caliber, be of that ilk. Not everybody's of that ilk. Well, we appreciate the conversation. Appreciate people reaching out. Christian at trustchristian.com. Always appreciate everybody that reaches out. Christian at trustchristian.com. We look forward to hearing from you all for trustee training or even getting a consultation on your private family banking situation. A lot of trustees reach out about private family banking throughout the years, and oh man, Trust Christian, I'm living somewhere, I'm paying rent. How can I pay excess amounts, 10% extra to the family estate? That's the kind of argument we gonna hear? Instead of hearing actually things getting done. Not just talking it, but walking it. That's 100% true. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's simple actions that you take to practice private family banking, just like you practice in public banking right now. But oh no, Trust Christian in the Vault is so hard. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa puff. Why? Because I don't have anyone around me that's practicing it, and I cannot have a conversation with them because they're the ones, they don't know about trust, right? So that's why it's imperative to get in the fold with people that are doing as such. It's a growth process. Practicing private family banking says you're an elite. You're not in the public. You're in the less than 5%. Act like it. Appreciate you, trustees. Christian at trustchristian.com. Share this with someone that you care about. Christian at trustchristian.com. Peace and joy.